Hey, Mama.
Hey, baby.
How you doing tonight?
Doing fine. How about you?
Good, good, good. Listen, we're gonna jump right into it. Um, I always like to ask you at the very beginning, how old are you?
I'm 102 years,
Okay,
and last of March I'll be at 103.
103 next month. Woo, okay, we're gonna party too when that comes in. And I'm not on camera with you tonight because I have a cold, guys, and so I didn't want to be sitting right next to her. Okay, so I'm just gonna ask questions from behind the camera. Okay, we started off last night talking about the Great Depression and how those years were. Okay, because when it started, you were around 7 years old, and of course, you were living with your parents.
Right.
Okay, and so we talked about that y'all had a milk cow, and you learned how to make butter, churn butter. You had hogs
Right.
and chickens, so you knew how to do all of that, right?
Yeah, right.
Okay, all right. So we talked about those early years, your formative years, where you were learning from your mama and even from your daddy. He taught y'all how to, to hoe in the garden and everything like that. But one of the other videos, and you guys need to go back and watch that. You were how old when you started working in the garden?
9 years old.
9 years old. Okay, right. So we just wanted to sort of bring people up to speed that haven't been following our journey. Okay, so tonight we're going to talk about you and Daddy. Okay, so you were 7 years old when the Great Depression started, and then around 19 when it ended. Now, you met and married Daddy at 17, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and how much older than you was Daddy?
How old?
How much older?
I'm
How much older than you is Daddy? Was Daddy?
What that?
Yeah.
5.
5 years old. That's 5 years older. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, he was 5 years older than you. Okay.
Right.
All right. Okay, and so in the beginning, where did y'all live, you and Daddy?
Me and when we first married, we stayed with his parents.
With his parents.
Yeah.
Okay, and then later you guys moved out on your own.
Yeah, we moved out on our own, and then when I had my first child, we moved up to my mama's house.
Okay, with your mama. Okay.
Yeah, and stayed there until the baby got over a month.
Okay, so that's my older sister Ernestine. Okay, all right. And so, where did you and Daddy first meet?
We met at the church. We were having meeting at the church, and he was there, and then we was there.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
All right. Okay, and then how many children did you have?
12.
Okay. All right. I'm hoping right now, guys. I have a cold, so I apologize if I've already asked her these questions. I'm just trying to concentrate tonight. But anyway, so you had 12 children together, and I'm so glad because I'm number 12. And then let's talk about like when y'all finally was able to move out. Okay. And I know that those were tough times, right?
Right.
Okay. So when y'all moved out, the place where you moved, did y'all have a like a cooking stove?
No, we didn't.
Okay. What did y'all have?
A fireplace.
A fireplace.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So is that where you cooked?
That's where I had to cook.
Okay. So you cooked on the fireplace because you didn't have like a wood heater.
No, I didn't.
Okay. All right. And I promised the people last night that you were going to tell them something about how you cooked on it. And one thing in particular that I wanted the people to hear was I remember years ago you telling me about how in those early times when y'all were really struggling, how you made cornbread. Tell them what you did.
Well, to make cornbread, you had to have a good pie in the fireplace. And then when I made up my bread, and then when I went in there where the fireplace was, I had a little old shovel, and I take a little old shovel and got some coal out of under the wood, and place it out from the wood, the fire, And then what I had to do, we had collard green leaves because we had some great big old wide collard greens. And what I've done with them collard greens, I put the coals out there, and then I put the collard leaves on top of the coal. And then I taken my spoon, and then I dip my bread out of the pan and spread it out on the collard leaves. Spread it out on the collard leaves. After I got it spread out on the collard leaves, then I taken another big old collard leaf and put it on top of that bread. And then I put some coal on top of that bread, top of the leaves. And I had to peep under there, make sure that they wouldn't burn. There were people under there. And when they go to browning, I taken my fork and lift the leaves off of the bread. And then when you put the leaves on the bottom, the bread cooked on the bottom. Then when you put the leaves on top of the top, the bread brown on top. And then it's there.
Yeah.
And that but you're doing that, the bread soaked. And then I take the bread out and put the bread on the plate and everything.
Yeah, so I mean, if that's not ingenuity, I don't know what is. If that's not thinking of a way to get something done, I don't know what it is. And that's just remarkable. So that's why I know, me and all the kids, we're so appreciative of what you and Daddy did for us and how hard those first years were.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and then I remember Daddy talking about, this story, because he told it several times. He said he remembers sleeping in the bed, and he said you could sometimes look up at the ceiling in the cracks and see the stars. But then at the same time, if you look down between the floorboards, that you can see the chickens walking under the house. So that's rough. That's a rough time, but you didn't give up.
No.
You persevered. You kept going, right?
Go on.
You kept going. And so, and like I said, we really, me and the whole family, we appreciate you guys so much. And so now, one thing that I have in front of you, and we're gonna come back to this, is you guys may see some skillets. But first of all, Mama, you got a picture to show them, right?
Yes.
She has a picture of, who is that?
This is my husband and me.
And you, let me see if I can pull it a little closer, guys. And I might put some pictures at the end so you can see Mama and Daddy. This year, when we get to November, he died November the 1st, 1989. Daddy will have been gone 36 years. I mean, it seems like yesterday, but he will have been gone for 36 years. And to me, it's amazing when I think about the fact that, if he was still living, like I said, you'll be 103 next month, that he would be like 108. To me, that's blows my mind, and how far he came. Now, in reference to also for Daddy, what did Daddy end up becoming?
He first was in our church. He was coming a deacon, chairman of the deacon board. And then after he stayed at work a while, the Lord called him in the minister business. And so he gave him his, ordained him. And then he started going to different churches. Different one would invite him there. But now I had to go with him after first what it was. It's a man died. It's about 5-1. And he had to go up there. They got him to do the eulogy. And we went up there. He went up there. And so I was out there raking leaves. I wasn't intending to go. And so he come to the door and he said, Gladys, He said, "You're not going with me?" I said, "I wasn't intending to go." "Oh, what is I'm going to do?" And you don't go. Because none of the women may not be up there and sing no songs. And so I threw my broom down. I run in the house and beat him getting ready. And I went up there. And when we went up there, it wasn't a woman up there.
Mm.
And I had to do the singing.
Mm.
And I reckon the Lord had built it into him that it wasn't going to be none up there. And he needed me.
Mm-hmm. Well, I know one thing. Y'all were an awesome team, because I remember growing up, you know, that Sundays were long days for us. You know, you got up early. You cooked breakfast. Even now, if I ask any of my siblings what we had for breakfast on Sunday mornings, we could all tell you exactly what we had. But you cook, you know, on Saturday night and Sunday morning, you cook our breakfast. But I remember us being in church, you know, most of the time, almost all day, because we would go to like morning service, and then Daddy would have something somewhere else to preach.
Right.
Because he pastored 2 churches, right?
Right.
He did. And one thing also about Daddy, you know, you and Daddy, is that you put a lot of emphasis on education.
Right.
Right. You know, because you made sure that we all went as far as we could, or we wanted to go, you know, and you worked hard. Right. And so Daddy, he got his college degree from the Birmingham Bible College, I think it was.
Birmingham Baptist College.
That's right. Right. So we have been talking for a minute. And so that's a little bit more about Mama and Daddy and their union. So, Mama, is there anything else you can think that you might want to tell the people?
What I want to tell the people is, after he told me what is he going to do, I got to thinking, the Lord done called him out to travel.
Mm-hmm.
And he needed my help.
Mm-hmm.
If I hadn't sacrificed and went with him, I don't know what would he have done.
Right.
And so everywhere that he went, I was there by his side.
Mm-hmm.
And we carried Margie with us because she was a handicapped child.
Right.
And we carried her with us. And we went from place to place, far and near.
Right.
And everything. And I was always by his side. After he said what he gonna do, I thought about that the Lord done put him out to spread the gospel. If he didn't know what to do then, when he went out, he wouldn't have known how to do, because he couldn't have sang all them beautiful songs that they were saying.
And preach.
But I did.
Right. Right.
And so that's what made me we went.
Right. Well, I think we're going to leave it right there, because I think that's a beautiful place to end, talking about how you guys work together as a team, even in the ministry, even growing your family, you know, is that you came through rough times, rough beginnings.
That's right.
But in the end, you achieved the purpose for what God put you here for, right?
Right.
Right. Okay, so we're going to leave it right there. And guys, we want to thank you guys for tuning in. And Mama want to show you guys something real quick. Her cast iron skillet, she's so proud. She was telling the story of not having the pots and pans. So these are some of the ones. I'm trying to operate the camera. Hold on a minute. Let me see here. Hold on, guys. Let me just see if I can do a better way. There's one. That's a bigger one. So these are cast iron skillets that have lasted through time. Right. And they will still be here when we long since gone. Right, Mama?
Right.
That's it. All right. Okay, guys. We love you guys. And we say bye-bye.
Bye.